All right, it's Monday, November 3rd. This is the Automotive State of the Union. I'm Paul J. Daly. This is Kyle Mountsier. We have special guest Richard Lupo on the show today talking about mobile service, talking about highways that charge cars, and also some in-store holiday magic. Nothing like starting the month on a weekend to get everybody fired up for Monday. You know what I'm saying?
Look, you start a week on the 1st, and you just better be ready for it, right? And you like end the month on a Black Friday weekend. You get, it's
November's set up to be a great one.
It's set up.
My goodness. So just want everybody to know before we get into the show, because we have a guest, we want to jump right in, but we do have our next ASOTU Edge webinar this Wednesday, 2 p.m. We have our friends David Steinberg from Four Eyes and Daniel Kim of Barnes Crossing, two very intelligent people talking about how AI is never going to pay off until you fix the data plumbing. This isn't all theoretical. This is actually very practical, what we're going to be talking about on Wednesday. You can go to the webinar live. You can get the recording by going to asotu.com and signing up. You know how webinars work. So with all that said, we have a guest on the show. We're going to get right into it today. First story, as consumers crave convenience and service bays are becoming scarce, dealerships are rethinking what fixed ops means. Mobile service is quickly moving from an experiment to an essential offering, and early adopters are proving it can be both profitable and can build your brand at the same time. Our friend Ed Roberts from Bozard Ford Lincoln, he's shown what success looks like. He has 46 mobile units, 43 technicians, and $10 million now in annual revenue. He says, quote, "Everything you can do in a shop without a lift can be done in the field." That's right. So the mobile repair segment is up 15% in 2024, nearly twice the growth of the overall do-it-for-me market, according to Lang Aftermarket Report. Industry analysts predicting mobile service will soon be an OEM standard, driven by capacity shortages, customer demand, and the undeniable appeal of winning over driveways. Apple Tree Honda and Acura in North Carolina now runs 3 Ford Transit vans daily, tackling maintenance, light repairs for customers who would rather not come in. Fixed Ops Director Richard Lupo, longtime friend, and he's on the show. He built the program from the ground up using urban science data to pinpoint customers they weren't reaching, and consultants like Spiffy to scale operations efficiently. And he joins us on the show bright and early on a Monday morning. Richard, thank you so much for giving us a few minutes on. I'm sure it's always busy in service on Monday morning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can't say that I'm not in the middle of doing payroll right now, guys. But
right. Congrats.
well done on the payroll.
But we got to have priorities, right? I mean, Kyle, when you guys call, Nathan, when you guys call, I show up, because there's nothing more influential in this business than Soto.
Thanks for joining us. Of course, I'd love to get a little bit of insight into like the impetus for you going, this is going to be the thing that we start to prioritize and put into a process, invest in the cost of the vans up front. Where did that come from?
Well, as you mentioned, everybody has to give thanks in this industry to the leadership of Ed Roberts. He certainly has changed my thinking about a couple of things over the years. And, mobile service has always made sense theoretically, but him putting the boots on the ground and showing us the way certainly made it easier for us to sell ownership in making an investment in mobile service.
Let me ask you this. And it's a question I like to ask people who are a few steps in, right? Like, you've obviously put a lot of prep work in, you've executed now, you have plans to execute more, but what is the biggest surprise that has happened from when you said, I think I understand what's going to happen, to now having 3 vans out every day? What surprised you the most?
When you're in uncharted territory, there's a lot of surprises, I have to tell you. So getting it sold and getting the buy-in from ownership, certainly, having to really game plan it out and do all the financials, it definitely was a lot of work there. It was definitely some transition stuff that getting out there and just changing the paradigm and really going to market to define exactly what we were going to do with mobile service, and how we looked at different business models to decide what we were going to do initially.
I feel like this is something that, sales for a long time has been the kind of like place where so much marketing effort, so much net new business territory, greenfield, and like how to go to market has been. But service has kind of been this, just steady, like the money's always green, keep the space open, make sure the advisors know what they're doing. This is complete green field for most places where it's like, yeah, you've got to build the pro forma. You got to put together the business plan. You have to understand how to go to market for it, how to market. You can't just, have 3 vans and hope everybody calls you asking for mobile service. There's a whole plan that goes into it. So it's like, it's even new for, I think, a lot of service managers to think in that way, right? Build a pro forma, build the business model, go to market.
Yeah, we definitely, there's a lot of leaders in our industry. Ben Stock always talks about how to Amazonify your business, and we looked at that, and there's a lot of good to take in that. But when we really drilled down on what we're doing with mobile, we had to really take a look at what Walmart was doing, because they've got hundreds, tens of thousands of brick and mortar locations that they have to protect that business. Where you cannot go pick up a shopping cart and go shop at an Amazon, right? So there's differences in the way that you have to procure the experience for the customer and who you market to. Amazon has to obviously is leading that market, but Walmart has to keep up with Amazon, but they also have to protect their brick and mortar business. Not unlike what we do here, where we've got, untold millions of dollars in brick and mortar here that we have to protect that business, but we also have to keep up with what our consumers want. And that experience of being in the driveway is something that we, have to recognize is out there. And if we're going to be early to it, being an early adopter, it's a brand differentiator for us 100%.
Have you seen it turn into almost like a conquest mechanism for the rest of the driveway?
Well, I'll tell you what we're doing initially, and in full disclosure, guys, we were just getting started on this. I mean, it's been a long project for us to get to this point, but we're just getting started. So some of the, the financial returns and stuff are still really, really early. But
yeah,
if we have a customer that's, say, 25 miles of hard traffic and urban to get to our dealership, they're not servicing there. They may well be a buyer. And so completing that experience as an owner of, 360 degrees of not only of selling the vehicle to the customer, but servicing the customer at the dealership level, that is brand retention. That's another car sale down the road if you can complete the 360 degrees for the customer.
Understood.
Yeah. I mean, that's huge, because it's not just about that conquest opportunity. There's so many people that we aren't winning the first car in the garage, the one that we already know about.
Right.
And so that's huge. Well, hey, thank you so much for being on with us today. Absolute pleasure always, Richard, and for getting in on Monday when you're running payroll and giving a little of that. I love the early taste of like, hey, we're not all the way there yet, but we're learning and we're trying it. I think that's something that a lot of people can hang on to this morning. Appreciate you.
Always happy to be on, guys. And if you have any questions, if anybody wants to know anything about what we're doing, they can reach out to me. Spiffy's been a huge part of what we're doing. Got to give a call out to Troy Blackwell. He's been a constant partner and a constant presence in our process too, as well. And of course, always, if you can get him on the phone, Ed is always there to help too.
Oh, so great. That's right. It's the community aspect, right? Thanks for the mentions at the end, especially, and letting other people know. And follow Richard on LinkedIn is probably the best place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Richard Lupo, Lupo on LinkedIn. Talk to you soon, my friend.
All right. Thanks, guys.
I love when people are just out there doing it,
getting in the dirt and
talking about
trying things, and willing to talk about it. Like, hey, we're not all the way there yet. We haven't arrived, but we're trying it and we're going for it.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time. Is a big differentiator between this industry and so many others is that there's such an open-handed nature. And when people are willing to tell you about like their mistakes, and I love the humility and like, hey, like we're not trying to pretend that we figured it all out. We're just saying that we've committed to be an early adopter. Here are the things and the challenges that we're facing, and we're committed to making it better. And we're learning from other people who are ahead of us. And I'm sure there are a lot of people now who are going to learn from Richard, because that's how it works. Speaking of it working,
segue
time. It actually works, apparently. In a first, France has flipped the switch on a stretch of highway that wirelessly charges EVs as they drive. The A10 motorway near Paris now delivers real-time power to vehicles in motion, potentially redefining how we think about range and charging altogether. Vinci, VINCI, auto routes, and Electrion embedded coils between a 1.5 kilometers, so about a mile of roadway for the charge as you drive project. The inductive system hits a peak power at in my opinion, a very impressive 300 kilowatts.
Wow.
Verified by independent labs. Vehicles, including a truck, van, bus, and a car, are already charging while cruising in live traffic. Vinci's CEO says it could, quote, accelerate fleet electrification and cut freight emissions overall. Electrion's Oren Ezer called it, quote, a pivotal moment for electric roads, proof that charging doesn't have to mean stopping.
That's right.
Here's a mile of road.
I mean, it's a mile of road. The cost that goes into something like this, the weight of these products, the fact that you have to have enough on the road to make it work, how long it takes, how long, these things can stay in line, still a question mark. But I love the fact that there is challenge happening to the way we charge, the way we get power. I think that, these multi-modes of like battery swapping plus stopping plus going, all combining together are probably like the matrix that allows us to be a lot more fluid in that range anxiety situation. But it's like either way, you can look at it any way you want. Cool. Like people are driving over a road and their car is charging. That is nuts. Team.
Like it's like that. I've several questions. One is like if you have one of those little what's the thing called that you put your iPhone on and like the little magnetic puck attaches to the phone, the MagSafe charger.
The Q charger. Yeah. MagSafe. Yeah.
Right. Have you ever gotten a paper clip near that thing?
Oh, that thing's like.
So I'm like, is there a magnetic field between the car and this charging ground? And what happens? Right, is like the ferrous trash going to start accumulating in the center of this highway. But also so that's just one thought. But another thought is like thinking about if this technology can work underneath some paving. Like it'd be really cool to see charging ports installed in parking spaces where there's no post.
Yes.
Right. And you don't have to plug in. You just pull into the space.
Pull in and then
the little battery indicator goes on.
That's the real win. That's the real win. Like, and I think it's potentially like a lot less disruptive, and easier to just like run through that whole parking lot.
Yeah.
But again, like, the shopping carts. Got all the shopping
maybe
carts
you cut down on
up
maybe
on
that's
these
just
things.
another strategy for shopping cart maintenance. It's just a big magnet. That won't go wrong anyway.
Speaking of shopping carts.
Oh,
stop.
A little slow on that.
Time.
Even in an age of scrolling and swiping, shoppers still want to see, touch, and feel the holidays. 2 new studies from NIQ and Quad/Harris poll show consumers are going omni-channel, but physical retail and print are far from dead.
Yeah.
66% of shoppers plan to browse online, but 4% will still visit stores, and nearly 3 in 4 say in-store shopping gets them into the holiday spirit.
Yes.
76% of Americans see visiting stores as a holiday ritual, and 66% say their favorite gifts came from an unexpected in-store find. Serendipity, fam. Physical catalogs are back too. 70% call them a great starting point for gift ideas, like my kids. Gen Z and millennials still lean on influencers, but they also top the list for finding magic in real-world shopping moments. Quad CMO Josh Golden says it best. Consumers are rekindling their love of discovery. They're craving experiences that go beyond digital screens. Tell them about it, Paul.
Listen, I remember as a kid, all we used to do is get the Sears magazine and like go through it like a ravaging hawk, circling everything.
Stars.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so like when the Amazon catalogs and some of these catalogs are showing up, it's fun to watch like the kids have a similar experience. Like this is how we did it. But I think also enough people have gotten crap from online, right? They got duped by an Instagram ad. They bought stuff and they were like, this isn't the quality. It's not what I expected. And kind of get tired of getting served up the same suggestions. And discovery while in a store over the holidays, I can absolutely see how the best gifts come from discovery. I'm also seeing some pop-up concepts. Have you heard of the store Mystery Bins?
No.
Okay, so I was in the mall over the weekend.
That's fun.
Last week, and literally the store just has bins of like overstock items, and they change them out, and the price decreases over the course of the week, but so does the inventory. I haven't gone in there yet. I will. But I was like, I get the concept. I think people are just ready to be out and about. And this is no surprise. I'd be curious to see how the generational data splits up on this, because 76% you're seeing. But what does that look like for, boomers, Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z? So I'm curious to see what that split is.
I would say Gen Z is a curious generation, right? And so that curiosity can be kindled by creating these experiences. I mean, what about like just thinking about your marketing campaigns and pushing discovery in, like, discover this, like find out
for
more
car dealers, right?
For a car dealer, right? You can lean into this very discovery, awe and wonder, wow mode of being around and in the store or the cars. And I think that will lean into that same kind of visceral thing that these marketers are saying, no, people want to know what they get to experience, what they get to experience when they are in person. Maybe create a little of that mystery, create a little of that intrigue in your marketing campaigns or in your in-store experiences, so that you can lean into this very narrative.
It is. And I still think a tag on to this, and I won't get too far into it, but live shopping absolutely has opportunity here. Someone in an actual store going through, talking about features, advantage, benefits. That includes inside a dealership. Right. And I think if I didn't have anything else to do, I'd probably go to the mall and live stream products and go through that to, like, give people that. I don't know. There's a lot. Oh, Josh Orr just quote, bin stores are fantastic. Sometimes some store locations offer daily deals such as 75% off entire purchases on items that fill up specific bags. Some offer 50% certain color marked item bins. All right. So this is the real thing.
Let's do it.
I think we have the mystery bin shop, but until then, it's Monday. It was daylight savings. You got an extra hour of sleep. What are you going to do with all that energy? Go in there, make the business better, take care of some people, take care of your customers. And we'll see you here bright and early tomorrow morning.
Let's go.